ventilation system. For senators, it's business as usual, but congressional representatives will be off until Tuesday. 31 people have reportedly been exposed since a letter containing anthrax was found 2 days ago in Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle's office.
I'm concerned for my staff. I'm angered that this has happened, but I feel very confident about those steps and about the fact that everyone will be okay.
Bioterrorism.
Across the street before a Senate panel, Health and Human Services Secretary Tommy Thompson asked Congress for more help with the battle on bioterrorism. He says anthrax may not be the bioterrorist's only weapon. He has a concern highly contagious smallpox could be next. Overseas, an enormous fireball rages north of the Afghan capital of Kabul, where U.S. bombers take out a military fuel depot in the third straight day of relentless attacks on Afghanistan. Kentucky Congressman Ed Whitfield was one of the representatives forced to close his office today because of the anthrax scare. Whitfield says the measure was strictly precautionary and there is no reason to worry.
The closing of the House of Representatives buildings in Washington is simply a precautionary measure to protect the public and those people who work here from the anthrax threat. It in no way means that the government is closing down. As a matter of fact, the government is continuing to function, and those people who would like to contact me can do so through my field offices in Kentucky.
Whitfield says his Washington office will reopen Tuesday.
Since the terrorist attacks, Americans have focused on the impact of man-made disasters. But on the home front, we're much more likely to be hit by natural hazards. A workshop in Evansville today addressed those concerns as geologists, government leaders, and disaster coordinators met to discuss how ready the area is for a strong earthquake. Chad Seawich was at the meeting and joins us now live from Evansville's west side to tell us what happened. Chad, what'd you find out?
Well, Mike, today's meeting was informational and basically brought together several different agencies that would respond if an earthquake had happened. Now, here at Hose House 3, firefighters have been responding to possible biological threats all day long, but they know that Mother Nature poses the greatest danger to the area.
But it's common knowledge that the most vulnerable structure is an unreinforced masonry building because there's no steel in there to absorb the energy. They're very brittle structures, and we have a lot of those in this country.
Hose House number 3 is among several city, state, and county buildings reinforced with steel beams designed to withstand a strong earthquake.
That's basically what they've done. They've tried to make sure that the trucks can still get out and the building would still be safe to house people from the neighborhood that might need it.
Structures built before 1989 are not required to meet current earthquake codes. That includes roads and bridges.
But I'd say that probably 80 or 90% of our bridges were built before the new level B intensity regulations went into effect. So except in the three-county area, which is Posey, Vandenberg, and Gibson, basically very few bridges meet the code.
The amount of damage would depend on the magnitude of the quake. Most buildings would survive a 6.0 or less on the Richter scale. Anything stronger than that could be devastating. That's why new disaster plans are in the works.
What we are trying to do is develop new technologies that we can actually improve the seismic resistance of this region, and so that the public is better prepared when we do have the next event.
Now, an interesting choice of words. He said when this event occurs, not if. Now, of course, this information is not meant to scare people. It's basically just to help us prepare for what they call is inevitable. Mike, Stephanie?
Thank you, Chad. It's good to know that businesses are preparing, at least. Thank you, Chad, for that live report. Well, another cool day in the Tri-States.
We need to prepare for cold weather with a blanket, I think. Let's ask meteorologist Jeff Lyons, who's in our weather center, with the first look at the forecast.
It was a little brisk this morning. Hang on here. I got to turn something on. There we go. You can hear me, otherwise I have to yell like that. It was very brisk this morning. We see temperatures fell down to freezing, and that did lead to some frost around the area. We're going to do it again tonight, and currently on our Storm Team WeatherNet site, we show temperatures in the 50s now. Even at 5 o'clock, we're already cool again. The wind gusts much less than they were yesterday, only at about 12 to 13 miles an hour in most spots. And with that wind backing around to the west and eventually the southwest, we're going to warm things up. Here's the view from the satellite, and it's clear outside. Only a few clouds to our east, and those will stay away from us. The pinpoint forecast tomorrow, a little bit warmer. maybe 65. That'll set just right. We'll get ready for a weekend of some great fall foliage viewing. We'll have the forecast for you in just a minute.
Sounds good.
When we return, the doctor's in tonight with the latest on flu vaccines here in the tri-state.
But first, we want to hear your thoughts about the events that have been unfolding in the U.S. and Afghanistan over the past month. You can give us a call at 433-3400 or 1-800-956-1414 or email us at WFIE@14WFIE.com. We will have more of your responses tonight on Newswatch at 10.
There's absolutely too much coverage on the war. I'm not saying that the war is absolutely wrong. I agree with what we're doing, but America does not need to see every single detail of what is happening over there. It just causes more people to get upset and panic.
You're watching Newswatch at 5 with Mike Lake, Stephanie Sylvie, Storm Team Meteorologist Jeff Lyons, and Ann Comas with the Health Team Family Healthcast on 14 WFIE, the Tri-State's news leader.
Turn right here. Excuse me, do you know where the art museum is?
It's 2 blocks up.
Thank you.
You're into art?
Oh yeah, sculpture mostly. I mean, I like paintings too, but...
The 2002 Mitsubishi Galant.
She was helpful.
Right now, pay 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for an entire year.
If your pet needs it, we've got it. Pet Food Center is more than just dog and cat food. We offer more than 10,000 pet items from fish to fowl. Our Northside location even has a dog wash. All this coupled with low prices and outstanding service. Now you know why at the Pet Food Center we say we've got it.
Pet Food Center. That's it, anything you need for your pet, we got it. The Pet Food Center.
Who could tell me what builds strong bones? Anybody know that one?
Milk, milk. What goes with pie? Milk, milk. What goes with beans?
I mean, I don't want to hear.
Should have had your mouth.
Get out.
And Q.
Q? Close?
What about a K?
No, G.
What about an X?
X. Seriously.
I'll have a root beer.
You'll have a milk. Say it with me. Osteo...
G.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Bingo.
What good is beauty if it's only skin deep? The new Camry, reinvented so it's sleeker, faster, roomier, better. You're going to want one. See your local Toyota dealer.
Family Healthcast is brought to you by St. Mary's Healthcare Services, your mission health provider, healing body, mind, and spirit.
It is flu season, but there is trouble again with those flu vaccines.
The Health Team's Ann Comas is here with the news and our Family Healthcast report.
Well, as the flu season approaches, federal health officials say about 79 million doses of influenza vaccine will be available this year. Now, that's about 4 million more than last year, but is it enough? Well, the doctor is in to tell us. The doctor is family practice physician Craig Hageman. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. Well, is it enough? 79 million doses?
Well, right now they told us to still be concerned about who we give it to. Basically, not everyone who comes in probably needs a flu vaccine right now. We're trying to make sure the people who are most at risk for the severe complications of influenza get the vaccine first, and those include people who are over the age of 65 is the most important ones to get it to, but also people with underlying problems like diabetes, problems such as pulmonary problems where they have asthma or even emphysema. Those are the most important ones. So we try to get them to those first, and then healthcare workers who are around those people are also very important to get the vaccine to too.
So you're prioritizing the patients you see, and I suppose other clinics and doctors are doing the same thing.
Well, I missed the first part of that.
I'm sorry. I said, so you're already prioritizing this early in the season?
Yes, we are. I think it's just important because it's not fun to have the flu, obviously, but the people the 20,000 or so that they averaged that actually pass away from the influenza virus themselves are mostly the elderly, mostly in nursing homes and things of that nature. So those are the people that we're really trying to take care of the most, and I think it's important to do that right now. As the season goes on, as they give us different numbers, we may be able to change that a little bit, but it still is important to get it to those people who need it the most.
Well, let me ask you two questions very quickly. These are the ones that I get. When does the tri-state flu season actually start?
It can be from December to February. Last year, it looked like it was more in January, February, even into March. It was a little later last year. Sometimes it starts in December. It's kind of hard to say exactly when it starts to rear its head, but it can be different times of years, and usually you need to get your vaccine at least 2 weeks before it starts. October, November is the best time.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be talking about this again before the season is over.
Thank you.
Dr. Craig Haseman, with family physician on Evansville's west side. A Newswatch follow-up now. The young Evansville girl undergoing an experimental treatment for leukemia has relapsed, rather. We last told you about 5-year-old Brianna Bradley in July. Doctors at Indianapolis's Riley Hospital had given her a drug called Mylotarg. Now, that's a drug usually only given to adults, and she was doing well with it. But since then, the cancer has shown up again in bone marrow and spinal fluid. Brianna's mother says she is in a great deal of pain, and the family even considered stopping the treatment and bringing her home. But now they say they've reconsidered. They're going to try one more infusion of Mylotarg to see what happens. And a final note here, I hope you'll join us for Newswatch at 6 tonight, because if you do, you're going to meet a great couple from Newburgh. Bob and Joanne Siebert, married 40 years, were really looking forward to retirement. Then last April, Joanne was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She's only 61 years old. As you can imagine, it was quite a blow. But there is a chance doctors will find a cure just in time for Joanne. And you might be able to help raise money to fund the research that can find that cure. The health team, Shannon Sampson, talked with Bob and Joanne about their terrible ordeal, and she'll tell us how we can help in the Health Watch Report on Newswatch at 6.
Affects so many people.
It really does.
Thanks, Ann.
Thanks, Ann. Another chilly day in the tri-state. What can we expect the rest of the week? Meteorologist Jeff Lyons returns next with a storm team forecast.
But first, one for the family. Dr. James Dobson sees a lesson about life purposes found in the legend of the Taj Mahal.
In 1629, when the favorite wife of Indian ruler Shah Jahan died, he ordered that magnificent tomb to be built as a memorial to her. The Shah placed his wife's casket in the middle of a parcel of land, and construction of the temple literally began around it. But several years into the venture, the Shah's grief for his wife kind of gave way to a passion for the project. One day, while he was surveying the site, he reportedly stumbled over a wooden box, and he had some workers throw it out. It was months before he realized that his wife's casket had been destroyed. The original purpose for the memorial became lost in the details of construction. Now, as legends go, this one may or may not be true, but its theme is a familiar one in the lives of people. How many of us set out to build these great dream castles, but we lose our focus along the way? We realize too late that it's relationships with our loved ones and our children that really matter. J. Paul Getty, one of the richest men of this century, wrote, "I've never been given to envy, save for the envy I feel toward those people who have the ability to make a marriage work and endure happily. It's an art I've never been able to master." So while we're building our Taj Mahals, let's not forget the purpose with which we began. With Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. James Dobson.
With its comfortable ride, graceful handling, and handsome good looks, the Accord LX from Honda always puts on a good show. Now, lease a 2002 Accord LX for $239 a month for 39 months.
You got a new Toyota?
Well...
A new Camry? That's so great.
Well, every certified used Toyota comes with a 6-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and more. Plus the comfort of knowing that you're getting America's #1 selling certified used vehicle. You might also get a lot of disbelief because the best new cars make the best used cars.
Now get 5.9% APR financing for 48 months on Toyota certified used Camrys and Corollas.
For the best selection, visit Kenny Kent Toyota, the #1 volume dealer.
Now get 0% APR financing on the all-new 2002 Dodge Ram.
This portion of WeatherNet is brought to you by your Bryant dealer in Evansville. Schneider Heat and Air, 428-COOL.
Live from the Storm Team Weather Center, here's meteorologist Jeff Lyons with the Digital Doppler 14 forecast.
This one was another beautiful day. We had just crystal clear skies all afternoon, not a single cloud to deal with. And the temperatures, well, they were a little cool, so we're going to try to warm up and improve on perfection tomorrow. There's a view from our tower cam now looking down the Ohio River. And you can see it's just picture perfect out there, almost like a postcard. All right, in our computer department tonight, I want to tell you about something that's going on here. You know, a lot of people call and say, well, tell me if it's going to frost in the morning, or tell me if I'm going to have to scrape the car, or whatever. You can get that information on our
later, well, he taken it out and he could read through the envelope, you know, and figured there wasn't nothing to it, you know.
Captain John Kozlowska says most of the calls turn out to be nothing. If they find something, they'll turn it over to the FBI.
Of course, the police officer is going to treat it as a criminal investigation and be there for the documentation.
The fire department has a different role. The firefighters are all trained hazmat technicians. So far, they've only needed a little bleach, but Lewis Ward says he's thankful for their help.
I think it was the best thing in the world to do, you know, and that, of course, like he said, there ain't nothing to it, you know, but you never know anymore, you know, what's going to happen.
If you suspect something, don't open it. We don't want you to open it. You know, please call the 911 and we'll come out and assess it and see what it needs to be done with it.
In Owensboro, Randa Stewart, Newswatch 14, WFIE.
Again, the Owensboro Fire Chief told us if you are suspicious of a letter, don't hesitate to call them. But he said you can also just soak that letter in bleach and water for about 30 minutes, put it in a plastic bag, zip it up, and toss it away.
On the home front.